So at some point, if we're really, really honest, we've all had to work with people we don't like. In fact, management experts told Lifehacker that it's neither possible nor ideal to have only people you like on your team. So the question is, how do you navigate working with people you don't like? Because it can be a really tricky balance.
Yeah. It's true, it's true.
This doesn't happen in politics at all, by the way,
never.
just for the record.
No, I would say, I mean, as long as it's not like hurtful or harassment, like that should be, never acceptable. But if it's just simply you don't like somebody, they're annoying or they're a bit jerky, but they're hard to work with, I think actually when you learn how to work with someone like that, you actually find a lot of strength in yourself. You find better ways to, you kind of rise to the occasion. You rise to the occasion, and then you learn how, to find some like deep reservoirs of some patience that you never know you had, and some problem solving that you didn't know you had. I think that's amazing.
I feel like isn't that a sign of maturity? Because like I'm a deeply impulsive person, and like I can make snap decisions or react based on my emotion, and I feel like that's the sign that you're getting older and wiser, because instead of acting on those impulses and like lashing out, whether it's with your words or otherwise, it's that you actually start to learn that this is more of a lesson for you to learn, and it's not actually as much about the other person as you think. So
true.
right, like I'm trying to be wiser, but we all work with difficult people or challenging people, and I start to realize like I don't want to spend my life being like that person's difficult, like because I'm actually throwing lessons away. And so now it's like my first reaction is, what is it in that person that is triggering me? Then I breathe, then I meditate, then I go home and I journal.
Beautiful.
I might whine a little bit to my husband just to get it off my chest, and then I try to figure out what is it in me that I need to work on. And that is not what I used to do in my 20s at all. That's the opposite of what I used to do.
It's true though, because they say that, like, isn't that a psychological thing that when you see somebody really gets under your skin, it's usually because you're seeing some part of yourself reflected in them.
Ooh, that's
and that is deep. And it's Carl Jung, right, came up with that idea that you're seeing something in yourself.
It's like,
so you're right,
No, I was gonna say, I think all conflict in a lot of ways is self-conflict, right? Like when you see in someone something frustrating, it's really that maybe it's your ego that's offended, maybe it's something personal that you're taking the wrong way.
Some people are just annoying though, like let's be honest. I think there's some truth to that.
People agree with
but
you.
some people are annoying and we have to work with them. And I feel like I'm pretty good because you encounter all different types of personalities. I'll just be like a little bit like less warm, I think, if I deal with an annoying personality. What I've found harder to deal with in life is people who don't like me. And I think
Who doesn't like you?
Well, I mean, there are
Why would
people
they not like you?
Come on, man.
You know what? You realize doing especially a job like this that there's always gonna be people who don't like you. And I've actually become much better at dealing with that because I realized that I can't expend the energy. I used to, if someone didn't like me, I would go extra hard trying to like song and dance and make them like me. I think a lot of women do that. We're taught to be pleasers. We want people to like us. But now as I've gotten older, that is one of the graces of getting older, is that I don't really care. If you don't like me, I'm not gonna waste my energy trying to convince you that you should. I'm done with that.
It takes a lot for me. I absolutely do, but it takes a lot for me not to like someone. I give people the benefit of the doubt to my own detriment sometimes. I hear what you're saying though, Sin, but you know what works as well? Killing people with kindness. It does. It does. Because they don't get you, right? They don't know. It's like, I'm being mean to this person. Why is this person being nice to me? It's a real psychological game. So you kill them with kindness. It's like Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. And I stay high.
My mom said to me, on this topic of trying to work with people that you don't like maybe or that are hard to work with, she always said this thing to me that we're all one, that we're all connected. And so I try to find in like even intense conflicts, there's some connection that we all share. No matter how hard it is sometimes to see or to find, there is a connection that unites us, and I try to find that, and that helps me work with people.
We've seen that online recently, yes. Yeah, we really, really have.
I'm typically the person at work who people don't like, because I'm not at work. I'm not at work to be liked. There's a story that our producers have told on our show before, on like the first day I met them, and we were having this meet and greet, and I wasn't all that likable. I actually said, I'm not gonna ask you how your weekend was. I'm not gonna ask after your kids. I'm very busy, so if I don't stop and talk to you, sorry, but not sorry. I have work to do. But then we were talking about this subject, and then I was thinking, oh, people who aren't liked in the workplace, and there's one very, very notorious person who's not liked in his workplace right now internationally, and that would be Donald Trump. And I was like, am I Donald Trump?
No. Oh my God.
But it's interesting.
No.
All those tools that you've mentioned so far, on this panel, you are vying to be this country's representative, this country's prime minister. You might have to work with that guy. So nobody likes him, or at least like most of us don't like him. So what are you gonna do when he tries to outman your handshake or like?
I know lots of martial arts, so that part will be. I'll be all right there. I'll be all right.
I like that.
But I think a part of when you work with someone you don't like, that it's also being able to say, hey, you know what, it's wrong what you're doing. You have to call out people, right? You have to be able to stand up to people. Sometimes in the workplace and in life, there's people that are just bullies. And you can't work with a bully by caving into them. You got to stand up to them.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Don't let him push you out of the
That's
picture.
right. Yeah, I won't.